All right, let's get into it. What if Clay Aiken had chosen The Amazing Race instead of American Idol? Imagine him hauling a backpack through airports instead of racing up the Billboard charts. Alternate timeline unlocked. Hi, I'm Emma, and I'm feeling totally intrigued today. Clay Aiken is one of those pop culture curveballs that honestly never stops giving.
So, picture this, early 2000s. American Idol is the Roman Colosseum of vocals. Clay shows up looking like your lab partner who corrects the teacher, and then opens his mouth and boom, honey, a ballad tsunami. He finished runner-up in 2003, never even in the bottom three, and his debut album, Measure of a Man, blasted to #1 and went double platinum. From there, he toured for tens of millions, became a holiday music juggernaut, jumped to Broadway, and yes, ran for Congress twice. Plus, he co-founded the National Inclusion Project. That's his nonprofit for integrating kids with disabilities into everyday activities. The range, babe, the range.
Let me set the scene. A few years back, I'm at this tiny charity gala, not expecting anyone huge. I'm wearing a dress that says I have a job, but also I can sprint for mini crab cakes. I get tapped to do a quick onstage chat with a surprise guest. I'm internally screaming because I have like zero prep and half a lipstick. The celeb shows up, totally warm, totally human. Talks openly about fame being, a blender for your life, and how the trick is to keep your values glued to the bottom so they don't fly out. We do the chat, it lands, and afterward I'm like, oh, authenticity is the flex. Adaptability is the vibe. You don't need a perfect script, you need a spine and a point. That moment lives rent-free in my head whenever I think about Clay's whole geek-to-cheek reveal, and then the fearless pivots into Broadway, UNICEF fieldwork, and politics. The man kept showing up as himself, just with better lighting and different lanes.
Okay, let's move on. Eli 5 time. Clay's career is a caterpillar to butterfly to okay, now I'm a damn phoenix situation. First phase, he's that Raleigh choir kid who loves special education, works at the YMCA, even substitute teaches a class for autistic students. Then 2003 hits. He's runner-up to Ruben Studdard, the Velvet-voiced winner, who becomes his lifelong duet buddy. And suddenly, we're in stadiums and TV specials. His first album is massive. By 2004, he's a holiday machine. Merry Christmas with Love becomes one of the fastest-selling holiday albums in the SoundScan era, like instant Coco. Then he leans into classic pop standards with a label pivot to Decca around 2010. Think PBS tapings, symphony tours, smooth arrangements. He nailed Broadway in 2008 with Spamalot, a Monty Python musical directed by Mike Nichols, absolute legend. In 2012, he was runner-up on The Celebrity Apprentice, the business competition show, raising over $360,000 for his inclusion nonprofit. And because apparently he doesn't sleep, he ran for Congress in North Carolina in 2014 and again in 2022. In 2024, he popped up on The Masked Singer performing as Beats with Ruben and dropped the new holiday album called Christmas Bells Are Ringing. It's like he carved out a lane where nostalgia and activism cohabitate. Unusual, but it works. Now, the people who matter in the saga. First, Diane Buble, the mom of a boy Clay worked with as an aide. She's the one who pushed him to audition for Idol. Then, together they co-founded what became the National Inclusion Project in 2009, making real, on-the-ground programs so kids with and without disabilities can do camps and activities together. That's not vanity philanthropy, that's infrastructure. Next, Ruben Studdard, Season 2 winner, warm as butter tone, he and Clay tour together a ton, play a Broadway holiday show, even team up on The Masked Singer. That partnership is brand gold. Clive Davis, the iconic record executive behind like half of pop music history, helped shape those early cover-heavy albums. Nedja Withgo, executive producer of American Idol, later claims Clay actually led weekly votes from the wildcard round until the finale. We'll get to that drama. Jerry Lewis, the old-school comedian and MDA telethon king, once compared Clay to Frank Sinatra after a 2003 performance, which is a compliment that's both vintage and heavy. Kelly Ripa, morning show queen, gets that infamous live TV hand-over-mouth moment in 2006, which Clay cheekily parodies the next day with actor Tori Spelling from Beverly Hills 90,210. That whole mini-scandal shows he can diffuse a big yikes with a wink. And Jimmy Kimmel, late-night host, keeps bringing Clay back for bits, making him a self-aware comedy guest, which honestly is how you avoid being boxed in as just the ballot guy. Also, shout out to Linda Eder, Broadway powerhouse, and Chaka Khan, R&B icon. They both duet with him in a 2010 PBS Orbit, stamping him with some serious vocal cosigns. Here's the tea, straight up. The biggest unanswered question from 2003 is whether Idol's voting system glitched the outcome. Reports at the time said the phone lines were slammed, people getting busy signals. It was chaos. Nigel Lithgow, again the show's executive producer, later says Clay led the voting every week leading up to the finale. If true, that suggests the last night call surge was the whole ballgame. Does it change my view of his career? Honestly, not really. Hot take, finishing runner-up was a stealth win. He didn't carry that winner's crown pressure and instead carved a sustainable route. Symphonies, PBS, seasonal tours, a memoir. You got to be classic, not trend-chasing, which is why a holiday album in 2024 still lands without feeling, mid. If anything, the controversy kept his name buzzing, while the albums and tours did the receipts. It's showbiz alchemy. A little scandal can be a PR engine if you've got the voice to back it up. And because I love a what if, fun surprise, he actually considered The Amazing Race before Idol. A friend nudged him to try singing instead. Picture alternate Clay, hauling a bat back through Marrakesh. Would he have become a congressman in waiting with a PBS special? Probably not. That fork in the road is everything. He chose the route where his particular skills, interpretation, storytelling, a voice that makes boomers and Gen Z weirdly agree, could actually scale. That is a kismet moment if I've ever seen one. Let's dissect this for a sec. The social impact piece is not a side plot. He legally changed his last name to Aiken as a teen, aligning with his mom's family. He finished his special education degree while his first album was literally exploding. He became a UNICEF ambassador, the United Nations Children's Fund, and went to places like Indonesia after the tsunami and to Afghanistan after the Taliban school bans to advocate for getting kids back in classrooms. He joined a presidential advisory committee on intellectual disabilities, then dropped into politics at home. In 2014, he won the Democratic primary in North Carolina's 2nd District, but lost the general to Renee Elmers, a Republican congresswoman. In 2022, he ran in the 4th District and lost the Democratic primary to Valerie Foushee. He didn't grab the seat, but he did something rarer. He translated celebrity into policy conversation and kept centering inclusion. That through line is the brand, not fame. Mission. Okay, pause. This next part is everything. Pop culture longevity. He's not just a voice, he's a recurring bit in TV land. On 30 Rock, the NBC sitcom, he pops in as a cousin of Kenneth the Page. Perfect meta joke. On Phineas and Ferb, the Disney animated show, he sings with Chaka Khan. And if your kids suddenly know Clay Aiken from a cartoon, that's synergy at work. Then The Masked Singer in 2024 with Ruben as Beats. That's how you refresh nostalgia without dust. Also, I will go on record and say a Clay biopic with a Christmas framing device would slap. Call me Hollywood. If I were Clay, navigating sudden fame would be a hurricane. One minute you're leading sing-alongs at a YMCA camp. Next minute, Jerry Lewis compares you to Frank Sinatra on live TV. You were doing Saturday Night Live skits in 2004, then duetting at a PBS taping in 2010, then getting grilled on the select "I'm sorry, but I'm not going to do this in my cabinet writing daytime for you," to come to the comments later. It's no go to be fake in a run like that. Authenticity is not a buzzword, it's the only strategy that scales. Alright, what's next? Takeaways. 1. Talent plus timing is cute. Talent plus mission is forever. 2. That runner-up label can be a slay if you play it right. And 3. Seasonal music is a cheat code when you can actually sing. 2004 holiday dominance to a 2024 holiday comeback is a flex only a few can pull off. Also, can you believe he did 11 tours, including symphony-backed runs? That's career cardio.
Next time, I'm excited to spill the tea on how reality TV has shaped today's pop culture landscape. From fashion to fandom to the way we date, it's all reality coded now, and yes, I have receipts.
So, that's the tea, folks. Until next time, stay curious and keep spilling the tea with me. Later.